Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from HoppouChan in the Shiratsuyu, a tier 7 Japanese destroyer. He is on the map Neighbors, and it's a ranked battle, in this case a 2-point domination game. All the ships are obviously tier 7. They have 1 carrier per team, and they have 1 destroyer per team. And also 1 cruiser. The majority is battleships. Now the friendly team has a ranger, and the Hiryu is unfortunately a better carrier. But destroyers, I think the Shiratsuyu will do better here. Now both ships aren't that great in a gunfight, but that doesn't matter because there are no good gunboat destroyers in this battle, and the Shiratsuyu has amazing camo and has the ability to launch a lot of torpedoes when the torpedo booster is ready. Now I've been sent quite a few ranked battles, and so there will be more to come, but this game just amused me quite a bit. So this is where we will start. I'm personally not the biggest fan of ranked myself, but I can see why it appeals to a lot of people. Now here in the beginning, the friendly team is going for Point Bravo, and that's what you wanna do. You wanna take your whole team and you wanna go to 1 capture point. There is really no point in splitting up. You'd also like to have your planes there scouting, so you can see the enemy carrier already has his planes up here. The friendly planes are still, launching. You want to launch your fighters first, and you want to get in some scouting information. Now thankfully there is this convenient island here, so HoppouChan can find some cover here while he's trying to cap, so while the carrier can keep him spotted, he is quite safe from enemy fire, and that's important. Because a carrier can be really nasty if he keeps you spotted. And, well, he still has his smoke ready. Now, smoke is also something that in a ranked battle you often want to use to help protect your team and smoke them up. And if there are a lot of people sitting in smoke, then a Shiratsuyu is very convenient because the amount of torpedoes you can launch into that smoke. Now he will be ready to get a launch at those battleships, I presume. Now he doesn't really have a good firing angle here, and this piece of island is rather inconvenient, so most of the torpedoes are probably wasted. But he has his reload boost ready, and he will back around this corner, ready to relaunch more. He can also lay down smoke if he wants, and you can see there are quite a few friendly ships coming in from behind. And if he is using smoke now, he can use that smoke to cover up like Dignize. And now they also have an Atlanta here, and Atlanta has radar, so that's nice. And for some reason the enemy destroyer decides to suicide around that corner. So now everybody in the friendly team should be shooting that destroyer, and with an Atlanta here, hopefully this destroyer will go down. Now with the Atlanta they have radar, so... And that's a bit unfortunate. I just lost a battleship. Now I wouldn't have expected an enemy destroyer to try something this risky. And this battleship just wanted to get in smoke, but that was a bit unfortunate. Even more unfortunate, the enemy destroyer should really have sunk. And if the enemy would have lost that destroyer there, then this would have been a good trade for the friendly team, right? If there's only 1 destroyer in the battle and you can take out the enemy destroyer by losing 1 of your battleships, I think that's a very nice trade. And funnily enough, torpedoes sent earlier just sunk 1 enemy battleship, so that's great news. Now the enemy destroyer is still sticking around here somewhere, because the friendly team is not in a position to cap. Oh well, let's say an enemy is interrupting the cap. So, enemy destroyer spotted. And that's close. The Shiratsuyu isn't very good at maneuvering, but very expertly done, so he dodged Akatsuki's torpedoes and he managed to take out the enemy destroyer. So now the friendly team is, I think, in the lead. Friendly team is now able to capture here. The friendly team has a destroyer, and oh, they just lost the ship. That's unfortunate. So let's see what the friendly team can do. And what just happened? Apparently the Scharnhorst that was hit a long time ago just well, die to flooding. That was unexpected, but it's great. It pulls the scores back, and it means the friendly team again has a lead. Now, the problem is that one battleship here is too far in the back. Those two battleships should stick together. And while they don't have to be in the cap necessarily, it would be a lot better if the ship were more towards the front. This is a Gneisenau. And the Gneisenau is a great brawler, but a pretty bad sniper. Gneisenau doesn't have enough guns and doesn't have the accuracy to do a lot of damage from range. So, well, at least the friendly battleship here has some cover behind this island, and those enemy battleships aren't pushing for some reason. So it's still not looking too bad for the friendly team. Now, HoppouChan here, he could try to intercept those battleships, but he wants to go for this capture point. He's a destroyer, capping is important. And it's likely that those two battleships would just dodge the torpedoes. Also keep in mind there is still a carrier around, so even if he tries to hunt down those battleships, the carrier could keep him spotted. While when he goes here for A, even if the enemy carrier spots him here, there isn't an enemy to stop him. And since there isn't an enemy near other than this Miyoko, if he takes this point, it's just over time a very big deal for the friendly team. Unfortunately, the Colorado got taken out by flooding. I'm a bit confused, but friendly team still has a Gneisenau. Let's take a look. The Gneisenau is still at full health, so at least there is that. And well, the friendly carrier should probably move, considering that the enemy are all their forces up here. If the carrier would just go down a bit towards the left or down towards the south, the carrier could stay reasonably safe. If the carrier gets spotted here by planes, those battleships can take shots at him, and that would be pretty bad. Now let's see, the enemies are finally going to capture Point Bravo. Now the friendly team still has a point lead, so they would still win over time. If they just all stayed alive, they'd win eventually, but it's still a long way to go. There's still a long time to play, so it's unlikely that they can run away all this time. And there is a pretty big airstrike incoming. It looks like the friendly fighters might be out of position, so that's bad. It also means that the enemy carrier up there will be spotted and the battleships will be able to shoot him. Now I'm not sure if he will get a torpedo hit here on the Gneisenau. It might be... Those torpedoes might run out, yeah, they unfortunately did. But he still has his torpedo reload boost already, and also his torpedoes will come off cooldown pretty soon, so he can now go in there. He's not in a good position right now to launch more torpedoes, and he really has to maybe sink one of the battleships here. He really has to help out, or otherwise this game will be lost. Well, the friendly Gneisenau is taking a lot of damage, and I'm afraid he doesn't do an awful lot in return. Currently, I mean, again, the Gneisenau is just not very good at long ranges, and the friendly carrier is under heavy fire, so it's looking pretty bad. Despite HoppouChan having done a lot of damage already and sunk 3 enemies, it's still looking really bad. The friendly carrier went down, and that's a huge deal because now they don't have any fighters anymore to help against enemies. The enemy carrier could now park over HoppouChan here for the rest of the battle, and there is nothing anyone can do about it. But hopefully he can get a good torpedo strike at this Gneisenau. The Gneisenau is coming around here broadside on the guns and looking in this direction currently, which is pretty nice. And some nice hits on the Gneisenau, but not enough. There are some torpedoes from the Miyoko coming this way. And this is going to be close. Oh my god, okay. That worked, that was nice. And yeah. So he managed to take out Miyoko by chance. So it probably wasn't planned, but it was a nice outcome. Now unfortunately the friendly Gneisenau is on pretty low health. And there might be torpedo bombers coming after her, and yes. Now it's only HoppouChan left. And, well, considering that the enemies have a carrier, I don't see how he can win this. If it were only the battleships, he might be able to take them out. Stay in stealth. But, as I said, the anti-air of the Shiratsuyu is, well, not very good. There is no way you can defend against the carrier, and it also doesn't turn that well. So you have trouble dodging torpedo bombers. He might have been able to do something more if he hadn't slowed down as much. I'm not sure, but anyway, if the enemy carrier just keeps one plane in the area spotting him, there is nothing he can do. Even if he uses smoke, the smoke will run out eventually. He has nobody to spot for him, so if he uses smoke, he's blind. And yeah, it's a situation where there really is no escape. He is on fire now. His repair is on cooldown. His smoke is ready, but once again, what does smoke do at this point? He uses it anyway, but it's over. The game is lost. Let's take a look at the results. HoppouChan got himself 1737 base experience. And this was a defeat. So certainly very well played by him. I mean, he got a bit lucky with a few of those torpedoes, but he was at the center, was at the objectives. And the objectives are very important in a ranked battle. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out. He was the only one in his team to sink enemy ships. Yeah. Chan got himself Liquidator, something that you don't see that often. 2 devastating strikes and high caliber. He scored 172,000 points of damage. And he showed that the Shiratsuyu can be a pretty decent pick for rank. We take a more detailed look. You can see he scored himself 28,000 points of damage for flooding. So, certainly well done. And I hope you enjoyed that one. And I'll see you guys next time.